Welcome to my Lupus living room. I am Suzanne Tierney, the CEO and president of the Lupus Foundation of America here in the fine state of Ohio. I too have lupus, and I love talking to my fellow Lupians and others who want to make an impact in what we do here. I do want to give a disclaimer though, the conversation is a very casual conversation today. And as always, it's about education, but we are not here to diagnose or treat. You need to have a conversation with your physician as to the best treatment plan for you. But today we want to welcome Chad Limones. He is from the advocacy team from Aurinia Pharmaceutical. And Chad wants to talk to us. He has a lot of information to share about lupus nephritis. And so, we all know. Hi, Chad. How you doing?
Doing well, Suzanne. How are you?
I'm just living the dream here in Ohio. It's 90 degrees and a sweat box. But it's going to snow pretty soon, so I'm going to enjoy this while we can. Okay, so we know that living with lupus, SLE, patients get many organ manifestations. Many of it say it's a full-time job managing their disease, as I would say, living with lupus. Today we're going to talk about lupus nephritis, one of the most common and serious complications of lupus, and highlight why is it so important to show up for your doctor's appointment as scheduled and engage in your routine lab work. And Chad, I don't know if I shared with you on this, but my uncle actually, my mom's brother, actually had lupus nephritis, did undergo a transplant and did live to a ripe old age. Okay. So there's always hope on the horizon. It is a serious disease. And I apologize to my constituents because I had no clue how much it impacted or the numbers that it impacted my fellow Lupians. So, um, I want to make sure that everyone understands lupus nephritis, and Chad's going to help us with that. He's going to highlight some key factors and educate you all a little bit better. Go ahead, Chad. You're on
Yeah.
the floor.
No, thank you, Suzanne. It's wonderful to be here. And like you mentioned, the best thing you can do is talk to your healthcare providers, to get questions answered and everything like that. But certainly be here to kind of talk, high level. And, one of the best things is, not that we want anybody to have lupus or lupus nephritis, but just to know and understand that there are resources and a community out there like LFA Ohio to be able to support you, through this journey. So to kind of start from a high level, we'll talk about, what is lupus nephritis. And for those that may not know, like your kidneys, they really are, kind of the filter for your body. And so in lupus nephritis, your kidneys may not function properly to remove the waste from your blood and really control the fluids within your body. The unfortunate reality with lupus is that up to 50% of people with lupus will go on to experience lupus nephritis. And we know that there are some delays in diagnosing lupus, and about 1 in 3 adults diagnosed with lupus are also diagnosed with lupus nephritis at their time of diagnosis. Women have the disease more common, though if a man does get it, it can often be more severe. And then, in terms of prevalence across racial and ethnic groups, we know that people of African and Asian descent, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native people, they are more likely than non Hispanic white people to develop lupus nephritis. Above all, though, we know with lupus, a person may feel pain. They can understand their brain fog. They can see rashes. But lupus nephritis, it can really be silent and it is serious. And so you may not notice like the signs of kidney damage, but with routine urine and blood tests, your doctor can. And so really, that's why one of the key messages I wanted to be here today and share, it's staying on top of regular doctor appointments and lab testing is so important to you.
Yeah, and I don't want to get on a rabbit trail here, but I have been making some notes because it is primarily a woman's disease. Um, I guess this could be a bigger conversation for another time. Is pregnancy with lupus because pregnancy And lupus, the impact on your kidneys from our constituents is huge.
Yeah.
So for those of you about thinking about going down that trail, make sure you have a conversation with your doctor first. Okay, it's very serious, and I do want to have a conversation about this at probably at another program, but it is a concern. All right, so we mentioned some statistics that highlight the disease, the prevalence, the severity of it among people of color, and we worked real hard here in Cleveland with the people of color to try to help. Um, God, and I've been doing it for years, and I have to say, I wish we could do a better job. How do you address gaps in health equity? You know, uh, what thoughts do you have on working closer with the community or how we solve these problems? For years, it's always been a socio-economic concern. So give us some insight on health equity.
Yeah, I think it is such an important topic. A lot of what we try to do on the advocacy team here is really under the umbrella of health equity. So whether that is working with people to develop health literacy and better understand what's going on, we'll do. Kind of disease state educational programs for people living with the disease and their care partners. We'll do disease state education and help providers understand the prevalence and some of the socioeconomic barriers that their patients may be dealing with. And then we also touch a little bit on policy. But a good starting place is to kind of ensure that we're all kind of clearly defining health equity. And by us saying that, what we mean is that we really want everyone to have the means and the resources to achieve their highest possible level of health. And so this means all people, regardless of who they are, where they live, what they look like, we want everybody to have their right to obtain their optimal health. And so what we've learned, throughout this talk, and you and I have done a lot of programs together, we know that lupus nephritis as an autoimmune disease, it does disproportionately impact people of color. And so we love working with our partners, especially you, Suzanne, at LFA Ohio, that there are resources out there, but we need to do a little bit more to educate people to take control of their own health and have those engaging conversations with their healthcare team. A big part of what we always tell people living with the disease is we're just trying to help them become their own best self advocates, help their care partners to understand a little bit more what's going on and become an advocate for them. And we always say, knowledge is power, and really applied knowledge is power. So take this information that you're learning, take the resources that you have, and share with your friends, share with your family, help spread the word to let people know the resources that are out there to help them along their journey.
I'm going to steal that. I'm going to steal the applied knowledge is power. Thank you. I'm
Absolutely.
not even asking permission. I'm just going to take it and run with it. So for years, I've been working with the campaign that National created almost 10 years ago, and it was called No Lupus. In order for there to be no lupus, everyone must know it. And even today, we are challenged with, we've done a better job at awareness of lupus. They've heard the word, but they're still not sure the definition of what it actually is. And, I've been a trailblazer here with the LFA for almost 40 years now in the world of lupus. And I can tell you we've come a long way, but we have much work to do with getting our constituents or our fellow lupians or those who think they may have lupus to get more involved. And we need to do that. Okay. So in Ohio, look, I can't boast enough about us. I'm just gonna just tout it all out there. We're one of the best. Okay, we are. We were able to go to our state and say, look, we need help. We went to our state legislators, our national legislators, and along with our state budget, other funding, even projects from Aurinia or others, we were able to create a pretty strong arm of outreach for health equity. All right. And we have learned a lot. Every year we learn more. And we know that everybody needs help, everybody needs guidance. Often they need navigation. Where do I start? I mean, I have a good some success stories that keep flowing in here because of our efforts of helping people. So, first of all, start with us. Okay. Let us help you identify what your obstacles are. and what resources are available to help you. Now, we may not have an answer for everything. Okay. In Ohio, we have Unite Us. And I don't know if most of our constituents are privy to that. And I don't even know if you are privy to that, Chad. Okay. But if you come to us and you say you have a problem, we're going to put you into this pod where other people have resources. Collectively, we come together and try to meet your needs. And we can help you with, we want you to keep that doctor's appointment. For God's sake, it takes months to get in front of the rheumatologist or the nephrologist. You do not want to cancel that appointment for multiple reasons. Okay. Keep the appointment. If you can't get there, we can help you. We have Uber Health. Uber Health will pick you up and they will take you there on time and bring you back. So, first of all, keep your appointment. Okay. Secondly, you can't afford your copay. We found that some people do have insurance but can't afford the copay. We can help you with the copay. You can't pay for your medicine? Give us a call. There are many pharmaceuticals who will work with us to help you get the medicines that you need. Our biggest fight is the insurance companies, and that's another topic for another time. Okay. Um, we found a great deal of people passing on their meds because of food deprivation. I had no idea that there was so much food deprivation among our audience, among our constituents. So we can help with food. So we're trying to remove a lot of barriers to care to help with health equity. We have a minority outreach coordinator for Cleveland and Columbus. We're working very hard. We have patient navigators across the state who call our constituents that we are privy to see, are you okay? How can we help? Do you need education? New patient education class. I can't imagine anybody embarking on a chronic illness without first sitting down with the powers that be that can help you understand what's going on coming out of the gate and help navigate. New patient classes. You might need support. For me, when I came to the LFA, my mother brought me. I went kicking and screaming. I'm not sitting with those sick people. And then they asked for volunteers. She raised my hand and they sucked me in. Okay. What I didn't know is that the common grounds, other people who knew what I went through. Because if you look at me, Chad, you're going to say, Suzanne, really? You're not sick. You don't look sick. Okay. Now, you didn't see me this morning when I took 12 pills. Later on, I'll take 12 more, and tonight I'll take another 12. Okay. We have a formula that works for me. And you have good days, you have bad days. So being with others, that old cliche, misery loves company. I love being with my miserable support group people. Okay. We hug each other, we kiss each other, become an extension of our family, and there's common grounds. We fight the fight together. So we do health fairs. We work alongside many hospitals. We try to shake the tree to get as many resources and much help. And of course, ultimately, we work to trying to find the cause and the cure. Okay, so you know, the most important thing is get in front of the guy, get in front of the doctor. Let's get some screening done. Let's see where you're at. All right. And why is it so critical? The screening, tell us more
Yeah.
about the screening.
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, you don't really feel, the kidney disease. You may not recognize like the signs and symptoms of the impact, but once the kidney is impacted, it really is serious. And so the uncomfortable truth is that people living with lupus and lupus nephritis, they're at risk of permanent kidney damage and even kidney failure. So then we're talking about dialysis, kidney transplant. And so the best way to kind of stay on top of this is to stay up to date and current on your labs and see the doctors for regular checkups. And the guidelines, what they actually recommend is to do screening for the doctors to do screening on the individuals with lupus at every visit. And we want people within your community, Suzanne, to really feel empowered to self advocate for themselves, to really prioritize those conversations with their providers about their kidneys to protect their long term kidney health. We talk to patients and it's like, hey, my doctor hasn't done this, or I haven't been screened in a while. We want them to understand why it's important and to feel empowered, to feel that they can be their own best self advocate and have those conversations with their providers to protect their kidney health, that they may not otherwise know that there's an issue unless they're getting those screenings done and having their conversations with their providers.
You know, I can tell you being proactive is better than being reactive.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have a friend recently, he's on dialysis right now. Okay. A year ago, he told me he had lupus. Okay. And then 6 months later, he said he was on, it affected his kidneys. And I said, well, what medications are you on? What are you doing? Nothing. Why not? And he's going about his merry way, drinking, smoking, having a great time, being engaged. It's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And of course, last month, everything failed. His kidneys failed completely. He's on dialysis right now, and he's waiting. He's on the list for a kidney transplant. Don't put off what we can fix. Okay, today it doesn't have to be that way. All right. I know myself. Um, I'm a professional patient. You know, it's no secret. I'm out there. But between my family doctor and my rheumatologist, and I visit them often, um, I probably pee in the cup at least 6 times a year, quarterly for sure at my roomie. Okay. But if I'm going in with something else wrong at my family doctor, she's take my get the cup, you know. So I'm a pro at peeing in the cup. So your campaign, being in the cup, I love it. It's perfect. But I do understand that some doctors aren't doing that, and it boggles my mind to even think that a rheumatologist, unless you're not seeing a rheumatologist, and then that's another issue. Okay, if you have lupus, you know you should be in front of those who know the best, those who've had an abundance of lupus patients in their room. And, you know, a really good rheumatologist is going to pass you off to a nephrologist. All right. Especially if they see something in your kidneys. So, yeah, it's annoying to be a patient, but you can survive. You can do this. Okay. I keep saying I know I look okay, but there were moments when I didn't look okay or couldn't get out of the bed or the storm. I was in the eye of the storm. And, you know, getting a good doctor, following the plan, being obedient to the plan, gave me back my life. All right. Um, I'm interested to hear about, I advocate for everybody. All right. I'm the voice here in Ohio. It's a privilege to be that voice. So, but advocacy is very, very important. And I know Aurinia believes in advocacy. What does it mean to you? How do you stay connected with the lupus community? What do you
Yeah,
do?
no, thanks, Suzanne, and you are definitely a great voice for all the lupus thrivers and warriors in Ohio. So thank you for that.
It's a
But
privilege.
I think advocacy, to us again, I keep saying it. We want people to understand, to know a little bit more, so that they can be their own best self advocate, so that they can have these conversations. There's a huge importance on being educated and with updated information, updated guidelines, updated therapies, etc. Things are changing, and so there's a lot of importance around staying informed and staying up to date with what's going on within the lupus community. And then also, I think it's great to be able to have a community of like-minded individuals. And so, again, yes, we don't want anybody to, experience lupus and lupus nephritis. But if you find yourself along this journey, it's great to get together with a like-minded community so that you can kind of share those stories, share the journeys, have a support system, while you kind of go this roller coaster of a journey. I think it's amazing all the different events that you have to bring awareness, awareness days and during a lupus awareness months. But you have these great educational platforms as well. Coming up here in a couple of weeks, we'll be in Cleveland doing a
Mhm.
roundtable discussion with providers, and then really getting together to celebrate the community at a walk up in Cleveland. Like, the great opportunities for people to come out, interact with other people going through a similar journey, share stories, learn from each other, and again, just really learn how to elevate your own voice, because the patient voice is so critical in this journey, and we want people to feel empowered to raise their patient voice during their journey that they're going through.
Yeah, and that's tough. So, I want to hear their stories. I know thousands of lupus patients through my tenure. Okay. And I'm always, the best part of my job is sitting with a fellow Lupian. All right. It just energizes me, and my ears are wide open. I want to hear it all. Their story. And every one of us have a different story. You know, many know for me, it took me 19 years to get diagnosed. I was misdiagnosed for a very, very long time. And many know that I'm an identical twin and my twin's healthy. How does this stuff happen? Um, we're doing a story in our new magazine with a mother and daughter. I can't wait to hear it, you know. So, what advice do the biggest challenge I really have, though, is I'm all about self management. I really am stuck on the fact how some of us fellow Lupians can thrive and others are sitting back. Okay. And one of my goals here is to teach self management. All right. Is the glass half empty? Is the glass half full? You know, well, for me, it doesn't matter. You get a pitcher of water and fill it up. All right. But how do you get other people to get involved in their self management? Just like these wonderful events that are coming up. Before COVID madness, we would have 300 people in a room. All right. Now we're trying to do hybrids where we have people in the room or people behind a computer. I want you to come out. I need the hug. I want to hug you. I want you to hug me. But I really want to talk about self management because I think that's the hole, okay, that or the hill that we're not crossing. So, what advice would you give for patients to get more involved, um, feel empowered of the ownership of their illness? It's not the end of their lives. We're just going to make changes.
Yeah. Uh, what you say is so true, and I think one of the biggest things, we get to do these patient events all across the country, and it really is so rewarding, to hear people that are, true
Hmm.
lupus thrivers, and they've kind of been able to kind of take their voices and share it with others that are going through a similar journey. And a couple common themes I hear a lot is, one is trying to control your attitude. There's not a whole lot that we can control. I tell my kids this when they're going through school and finding challenges, but it's like the one thing that you can control is your attitude. And there's going to be some tough, challenging days out there for sure. And so with that also goes grace, being able to give yourself grace and recognizing that not every day is going to be perfect. You're not going to feel great every single day, but getting out there in a community so that you can just experience life with others who are going through a similar but different journey, can really help out. And then it might empower you to say, hey, I have a question about this specific thing, or hey, I've seen that you've really elevated your voice, ask for help when you need it. You know what, I really need help here, can you help me? And just really kind of understanding and seeing that your voice does matter, and there are resources that are out there, so that if you are going through a struggle, if you are finding yourself in a challenging moment, raise your hand, reach out to your fellow community, reach out to the LFA Ohio. Suzanne, I know I've seen it before. I've sat with you at these lunches, and the people come up to you and share their stories.
Hmm.
You're so forthcoming with the resources and advice and guidance to help people throughout their journey, like you've navigated your journey. And so just
Hmm.
for people to understand that, yes, you may be going through this, but it doesn't have to define you, and you can get with other like-minded people, and really kind of just find the resources, find the help and support that you need, to navigate this journey, being an advocate for yourself.
Yeah, so well said. So, you know, I have lupus. Lupus doesn't have me.
Yeah.
Okay. And my husband would say, we have lupus. All right. So doing the journey with someone else does help. And I would encourage everyone to foster relationships with your fellow Lupians. I really would. They have become extensions of my family for years. I've known people in this organizations for decades. I know their kids. I have weddings of kids that I'm going to. The common ground is priceless. And I love the grace. I absolutely love that. And I have pearls on today, so I feel real graceful. Anyway, but I do want to say, ask your doctor about the choices you have today. Okay. And if you're not comfortable or you don't understand, or all these TV commercials now, because all the pharmas are all on TV and you see all these commercials, ask your doctor. For God's sake, do not go surfing on Mr. or Mrs. Google. Okay. Sometimes the information you see needs to be interpreted. Okay. Of course, I feel very safe about our website, Lupus Greater Ohio. It is our job to give you the latest, most accurate information there is about lupus. All right. I don't want you jumping onto sites or bogus things that could scare the jeebers out of you. All right. We are here to empower you. We're here to remove barriers to care. We're here to educate you with applied knowledge. I love it. I love it so much. And yes, Chad, we're going to see you coming up at our, I don't know when this will post, it probably might be beyond that, but we do have several events we're going to be doing with Aurinia because it's very, very important for people to understand the risk of lupus nephritis. And Chad, I really want to thank you. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add into this. I think you've done a great job at sharing with us. If you are concerned about your kidneys, I can tell you it's silent. It's a silent disease. So by the time it hits you and you notice it, it might be too late. So be proactive instead of reactive. All right. And if you have questions, we have Rita here, we have our nurse. She can help navigate some of the questions, but it's very important that you have a good relationship with your doctor. And if your rheumatologist or your family doctor who's managing your lupus, um, if you feel that there's issues with your kidneys and they're not moving you along, maybe there needs to be another dialogue. Give us a call. Let's see if we can help. Okay. But Chad, I can't wait to see you soon. I can't. And I love you wore a purple shirt. You don't have my purple tie on though. Okay, where's my purple tie?
Little too warm for a tie today, but
Oh,
soon
bet.
enough. No, but this is
Soon enough.
wonderful. I always
Well,
enjoy chatting with you, Suzanne. You're a wealth of
well,
knowledge, and you're so great to your community up there. So I
that's too
also look
kind.
forward to seeing you all soon.
That's too kind. So remember, there is no I in lupus, but there is the word us. And in order for there to be no lupus, we must know it. All right. And guess what? I can't do this by myself. Let's say hi to my wingman. Hi, guys, on the side here. It takes a lot to hold me up, and I'm blessed to have a crew here that does a great job. But go to www.lupus Greater Ohio for more information about programs and events. I hope to see you all at any of our upcoming events. The walk would be nice. And if you need us, just call us at 1-888-NO-LUPUS. Thank you. Thank you, Chad. As always, welcome to my lupus living room. If you have a story to tell and like to share, please call the office and happy to get you scheduled. Until then, it's hot outside. God bless.
Thanks.
How'd we do, Chad?